Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the morning. Please join us here for a gathering of the minds. I'm starting the day, as you can see. This is franchise number 2 in this region. By the grace of God, everything is good. No worries, no complaints. Starting the day. Today, we're going to be discussing some wild card topics about business administration. I need to eat and I have to wait for my coffee, so that's going to be a fun dynamic. But I want to welcome you back. Tell them we have a few minutes. I'm going to eat as fast as I can. I'm trying to calculate some logistics. If I leave here in about 30 minutes, catch public transportation to the gym, go swimming, give myself that moment, right, to connect with God. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I like to have two bottles. Two bottles too much. One is good. I always eat the meat first. This is the scrambled eggs versus the fresh egg. Mm. For today, I plan to drink some hot coffee instead of a cold coffee. I have to wait for the app to be able to order. While we wait, because we just cleared the ability to do so, you got to wait every 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and check the bus schedules. Walk 8 minutes. Past the 7:35. And walk 5 minutes. Basically across the street. Next time is 8:05. Let's see how much time it takes. So it's 2 minutes on the bus, basically. 8:05 will get me there at 8:07. I can swim. Now let's see the return. All right. Um, if I get there at 8:05, the 8:15 bus will pass. All right. 9:15 will be the earliest. Good morning. Yes, I'm about to get some coffee in a few minutes. Thank you so much. God bless. 9:15, first bus, or the 9:45, which will get me there 9:50. Then I will walk about 15 minutes to the business, making it there by 10:15. Not bad. Why would that be good? It'll be good for my health, my mental peace of mind, time I'm dedicating to myself, time with God, time for prayer and meditation, which is excellent always. I may make a couple dollars extra, but is there peace of mind? Will my quality of life and my standard of living increase or decrease? Today's the busiest day in the business, all over the world. It used to be Saturdays, not anymore. For me, the sabbatical started last night, so technically I'm just donating my time. I'm not going to work, I'm just going to assist my business partners because I'm basically unable to. So these are the things that I was debating. I was allowing myself the freedom and the space to make a decision. Now, had it not been for breakfast, I would have ventured over there. Because I deal with the people, I don't want anxiety, I don't want distractions. Let's go ahead and order that coffee. We'll be right back. Everybody take a break. Official test start time 2 minutes when I return. Enjoy your breakfast. I'm gonna join you here for some coffee. Oh man! All right, so we are back. That took a minute, but we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So I wanted to share this moment with you guys. This is business, and this business series is about making decisions in real time. So, what do I do? Do I secure peace of mind, quality of life? Do I go for the gusto, being that, you know, I could probably produce a little bit more or a little bit better, right? The answer is none and all and both and each one at the same time. I am going to stay centered. I am a mountain, I cannot be moved, right? What does that mean? That means that I'm not going to be driven by one thing over the other. I'm going to follow the natural course of life. That means I'm going to finish my coffee at whatever time I finish my coffee. I'm going to finish our lecture at whatever time I finish our lecture. I'm going to venture out to the gymnasium and I'm going to work out and I'm going to swim and I'm going to give myself that time. Whatever is for me is for me. I'm not going to operate from the lack thereof, meaning if I don't show up first thing, I'm going to miss clients and this and the third. I don't operate from a standpoint of scarcity. I have no dog in this battle. It's not going to do anything substantial in the sense that when I leave this investment, it's no different than leaving the prior and the previous investment or the following investment. I am stick and move. I come, I improve, and cash me out. I only own 33.33% of the company as far as this investment, but I own my entire investment firm. So every small business like this that I'm involved with is short term, and I only come in for about a third of the business. In this situation, maybe a little bit more. But it's important because you, as an entrepreneur, you may find yourself making these decisions. For me, it's clear that it's time to move forward and move on. And I've been able to do almost everything that I've been able to do. Whether that takes, X amount of time versus X amount of time, is irrelevant because at the end of the day, I can only go with what is the organic growth, the organic potential. Everything has its nature, in business or in life. I don't feel that we need to force things. There's no need to force anything. There's no need to step out of the box. Like all the written and unwritten rules and parameters are in place. I understand why I made those changes in the investment, and I'm seeing the fallout or the reaction to those decisions. Therefore, I have no reason to concern myself with that. Meaning, everything that's established is established, and whatever is in my hands is in my hands. Whatever is not in my hands is not in my hands. And I need the mental capacity, the energy, the vitality, the peace of mind to make the best decisions. Every decision I make is data point, um, you know, proven or established. It's based on data points. It's a situation where there's really a no win. And actually, I left behind a little treasure hunt. That is a psychology test. That's going to tell me everything I need to know, which I already know and I understand the psychological profile of the people involved in this investment. So, the best way that I could describe it is there was an amazing opportunity that I pursued. I embarked on this journey. Things worked out in God's way, not how I anticipated for them to be. I winded up securing other business opportunities, which I'm grateful for. In doing so, of course, you always hear through the grapevine, oh, this opportunity would have been this or it would have been that, right? And I do not believe in those things. Like, I believe that the grass is greener where you water it. And maybe in a different location, I wouldn't have the freedom, I wouldn't have the stability. Emotionally, it would have been too charged. There's small things that I want to do, even to the equipment, where I was basically unable to do that before. And that puts a lot of things into perspective, because I've changed my approach, even from the selection of a uniform code, of conduct. Um, all I can do at the end of the day is my very best. All I could do is pray, take it one day at a time because life still has to happen. Yes, my love. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, that's the best thing that I could do. So in whatever it is, or in whatever time frame is permitted and allowed, I have decisions to make, and I know that I'm venturing off to other things. So now it's about management and coasting until achieving that goal. Um, I haven't done a complete business assessment as of yet, and I won't do that till probably the very, very end. But I found myself being impacted by external factors that I had to realize all I can do is remove myself from those situations and basically walk away from those situations because it's unnecessary to do anything else. It's very hot. So, me personally, there were probably things that I could have done differently, but looking back just today, I'm happy that I did what I did because I have enough experience and discipline to see certain patterns and be able to pivot and juke and adjust. And that's exactly what I did. In the end, everything worked out except towards the end of the exchange, I felt a little drained. I felt like there are things already manifesting in the background, which out of survival mode, puts me in a situation of defense. But the greatest defense is the greatest offense. You know what I mean? The number one thing that I can control is to be consistent in everything that I do. And basically, I still have the power of choice because, like I said, if I had a dog in the fight, I could literally finish this class and go to the venture. But it would be a lose lose situation. What's the point? It may force certain pillars of the business in a different direction. It may compromise things that are essential to achieving my goals long term. And in the end, there's no reason for me to fight for it because this is my business. That is my business. That is my business. This is within a 1 mile radius. This is a few million dollars. That's a few million dollars. That's a few million dollars. And that's my focus. And it has been in this demographic for, I want to say, about 2 or 3 years, and I'm already moving on to other things. What was the most valuable lesson? I missed a meeting with all of the execs from the record label. This is the third time in a row, going on the fourth. So for a month, I've been traveling and I've been unable to put my anchor down because I've been on survival mode. What was the valuable lesson? In the worst downturn in this particular franchise, I missed an opportunity that is the future of my life. And I'm still in a position of privilege and power, so I still have the advantage. It actually increases the value somewhat the intrinsic value. People are more eager to meet with me now. But it was a calling from God to me to say, yo, keep your eyes on the prize because I allowed a moment to alter what God had written for me. How can I explain that? During this moment, there was an interchange, right? A time of bonding where my business partners and my colleagues, as well as my clients, had a moment to bond, right? To build something, which is what dreams are made of. This is what establishes a brand and a franchise, right? For those that want to put a label on it, which I don't believe in that, but it's okay. I'll give you the best example that I potentially could give you for today because you may find yourself, having to make these decisions. And in that moment, there was a very dangerous road that was being treaded. People were connecting on the spiritual, religious, psychological side. So, because I'm a God fearing man, I felt backed into a corner. Faith without works is nothing. So, when you tap into those things, especially in business, especially with my clients, I take that very dear to heart. So, in this moment, there was a great message in the bottle. There was a great experience that we could have shared with our clients to connect with our clients on a deeper level. And again, I'm thinking long term, I'm thinking franchise, I'm taking into consideration there's other brick and mortar proof of concept locations. So I'm thinking, okay, this is the opportunity, keep going. The ball was dropped immediately. The opportunity was tarnished because people saw no value. They didn't understand the bigger picture. They were so focused on being correct or being right during the discord, right? The dispute or the exchange, that they failed to acknowledge the value in that value based proposition. It's a value for value relationship. We're giving a value experience to our best clients, right? And in doing so, not only was it draining, not only did I have to do more damage control because now I'm having to correct all these little bombs that are about to go off, right? And I'm just diffusing this one, diffusing that one, diffusing that one. And in the end, I was mentally drained, emotionally drained. I was frustrated. I was heated. I was aggravated. I was disappointed. Overall, disappointment is probably the best way that I could describe it because it was unnecessary. Then God shows me, look what you missed. You're trying to build somebody else's entity. You're using all these gifts and attributes that I've given you, that I awarded you, right from birth. Your natural, God-given talent and abilities, knowing you have another investment waiting for you in Miami, for example, and you're neglecting that for this. You have to think to yourself, what is the end game here? What is the goal? Did we just lose focus? Maybe because I or you may be in a vulnerable situation emotionally, physically, psychologically, even economically, spiritually, as a human being. I'm rebuilding so many different aspects of my life. And this is one of many situations that showed me what is really going on behind the scenes. Now I see the depth of the struggles in this nucleus of the collective that make up ownership and management. Now, I have to constantly remind people I am a doctor. People seem to forget that. So, being a master at psychology is a huge advantage in business because I'm able to connect with people and I know when somebody's hurting, I know when somebody's confused, I know when somebody's dazed, is kind of stranded in life, is kind of trying to figure out ways through muddy and murky waters, right? And what I can do is provide the love, the support, and the understanding, the clarity to assist these things. So naturally, everybody in the franchise is going to gravitate towards me. They're going to come to me with their most intimate and personal situations. I don't like to use the word issues, as well as their professional career business challenges. Now, what do I have to do? I have to play the devil's advocate. I have to balance everything out and explain everything in a way where I don't have to always take it to the spiritual realm. But now I see that these people have mixed that with business, and that's horrible to do if you're not going to uphold yourself to that standard. So, for example, in the last few days, I realized that the business was not being held by that standard, but it's being promoted as that. And the people that know and fully understand will be disgusted to see that it's marketing. Everything has been a test, everything has been an exam. And it's a game that I can no longer play. I can no longer afford to babysit people that are not willing and not ready. And I don't have to sit here and break down to people what my credentials and my qualities are. You know, it's I can give you advice. There's no three strikes, you know. It's up to you to listen or not. And don't think that I'm gonna wait till the third strike. Like I can give you advice one time. You know, at the end of the day, we're all adults. We all make our decisions. We all have a different perspective and conviction. We all have a different ability to execute on what we're learning. Even if I suggest a book to you, I cannot force you to read that book. I cannot implement the knowledge that may be contained in that book in the way that I would want for you to do that because at the end of the day, it is still very much so your decision to make. And how you implement those things is based on factors and variables that are outside of my control. So there's no need to win the battle when they have already defeated themselves. They've already done their best to try to conceal what was really in their heart. God really showed what was really in their heart. So, what does that mean for me? I have to make that decision, and my decision is made. So, again, that's a win win. Understanding the terrain, the environment, the combat zone, the opposition, what are the variables that are known, what are the variables that are unknown. If you don't know the landscape, if you can't tread the terrain, if you don't know, the tactical abilities of your opponent, then you're going to lose 100 battles out of 100 times. But if you understand the landscape, the environment, the people involved, the circumstances, the time frame, all of those things play an amazing factor. This is my way of not overcompensating, but preparing myself for the battle that is to come. Today has to be a complete change. Now, I still have to allow myself to be a human being. I cannot be a robot about the situation, even though it is a robust situation that requires many factors because there are many individuals that are involved. Just like before, my intention could have been to not necessarily even open the business, but open early. Not necessarily prepare the business, but prepare it early by doing all the opening procedures that these type of businesses really require, right? To improve the quality of the business. And again, it's one of those things that I look forward to that, but not at the expense of my mental and well-being, peaceful state of mind. That for me is a non-negotiable. That's something I cannot negotiate. And it is important. And maybe I can use this as an example because it is an influx season. business is increased 32 to 39%, maybe even 40%. And people's perspective may be it's a 100% improvement on business. No, it's not. This is just a magnifying glass. This is going to highlight how you're administrating the business, how you're running the business, what is the day to day. And there's nothing like when things are genuine and they're flowing naturally and organically without being forced. All of those things are important. Yet most people do not view the situation that way. It makes you wonder and it makes you feel so okay, so who am I to implement these things? I can want for you to be a multimillionaire. I can give you all the game and all the insight because there's enough abundance in the world for everybody to be a trillionaire. That's the one true secret that they never reveal to you, right? But at the end of the day, you have to embark on your own hero's journey. It's as simple as that. You have to embark on your own in your hero's journey. And all I could do is pray for that person, for that collective of people, because I know that my time is essential. I know my time is limited, and I know I have to move off to other things. As a matter of fact, not only am I Colombia bound, I have to go to Canada, I have to go to Australia, I have to go to Puerto Rico, I have to go back to Miami. But I have an event. There's a concert on the 17th in the Dominican Republic. The opportunity is there. You know, the question is, am I going to be able to venture out there knowing that I'm in these negotiations? For example, Monday, I have a meeting with a venture capital firm, and I have chosen not to speak to them since I want to say April, May timeframe, because I was hosting meetings with venture capital firms like 8 to 12 times a day. So it was overwhelming. Plus, I was not in control of every other situation going on around me. Moving forward, I already know that that's how it's going to be. That is also part of the marketing strategy to create brand awareness and things like that. But I conveyed that to my company. I conveyed that to the team and said, listen, we have an opportunity. We're in market. They want me to fly to Tampa. I have a private jet, which I need to fuel because I cannot just make that trip because of my pretty smile and my pretty face. When you have a meeting with these people, you have to turn on the movie. I'm in entertainment, I'm in show business. You have to showcase power to gain power sometimes. So I have to let them know listen, my private jets are a few $1 million investments. Me being here, the fuel that I spent, this is the receipt. This is how much it costs just for me to land and be able to talk to you. Granted, we could secure a multi-decade $1 million deal. So is it worth it 100%? Am I willing to make that investment every single time? But I have to let people know I am not here to play games. I'm not here to waste time. How can I convey that to people that are running a much smaller business or investment where you hear some of the commentaries and you choose not to engage? There was a comment to the tune of, yo, multimillionaire, you know, take us out of poverty. Ha 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 ha. One. No, because, you know, some people are millionaires and they're very humble and they don't showcase it because they're quiet people. Ha ha ha. That's all directed straight at me. Now, do I need to explain to you how many churches and charities depend on me and my investments? How big my family is? How big are the families of my loved ones, my peers, my colleagues, my business partners? I do everything for them. I don't care about adults. It's the children and the elderly that I have to worry about. That is my responsibility. Yes, I'm a Jewish man of faith. I'm a Jew for Jesus, Jew for Buddha, Jew for Muhammad, Jew for Superman and Batman. I got love for everybody, whatever your religious belief is. But if I can donate $1 million to the mosque, I'm going to donate $1 million to the synagogue, and I'm going to donate $1 million to the churches, and I'm going to donate $1 million to the charities and the inner city youth programs that I'm involved with. It has to be fair and equal. Just like I have multiple wives. If I buy one of my wives a car, I have to buy all of my wives a car. If I take one of my wives on vacation, I have to take all of my wives on vacation. If I buy one of my wives a dress, I have to buy all of my wives a dress. I can only be in each household for a certain season. Some of my wives are famous. They're models, they're in the industry, they're in media. They're all competing with each other, not for the world. The world is a stage for them. They're competing for my attention. They know that I'm in negotiations. So what does that mean? It's life changing if I do a movie or an album or whatever, the video game, a lot of things that I'm doing. Every woman wants to be number one. They want their children or their child to be number one. And I'm only one person, God fearing person. It's not my position to explain this to people or to teach people how to live their lives. I can give you advice, I can give you some pointers. Before, maybe I did have a three-strike rule. I don't have that anymore. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. I have grandchildren now. Now I'm making the change and the shift in my life to dedicate all of my time to my granddaughter. And now the women in my life have to understand that there is no exception. The priority, the standards are that much higher. So what I'm fighting for is that much greater. I cannot break this down to a collective of people that may not understand it, may not appreciate it, and may not be able to relate because they are not at that phase in life. And this is why it's important because you, as an entrepreneur, as my student, my alumni, I'm learning equally as much from all of you, right? You may be faced with that decision. You may be faced with that opportunity. You may be faced with that potential. How are you going to manage that? You have to understand in any business, you're dealing with people, different backgrounds, different religious beliefs, different favorite teams, different cultures, different religions. You're facing and you're dealing with all these factors every day. It's just disguised as day to day business. Let's run this manual, let's run this play. These are the instructions, this is how you do it. But you don't see what's going on in the subconscious mind, how one thing impacts a certain group of people over another. What determines the success? Every business has the potential to make hundreds of millions of dollars, but not every person has the ability to capitalize on the potential, on the opportunity that they actually have. A lot of people have the hot potatoes in their hands, they can't eat it. One of my business partners, which we opened 39 franchises together, turned one of my enemies, turned one of my allies, turned one of my enemies, turned into a friend, taught me that lesson. And the story that was supposed to be between us and our investment and our brand and our franchise expanded to about 632, 633 franchises, directly and indirectly. I already had built a franchise with over 300 locations, $1 billion company. I was 19. So this person thought that at 39 franchises that we opened together, that there could be any type of comparison. There is none, no comparison. I'm from a different universe. 45 published books. I'm from a different universe. 8,000 songs in my catalog. I'm from a different universe. So it just goes to show you where I am in life. I had business partners from hell. I've been down this road before. And let me tell you, yesterday and the previous few weeks, I have been an example. I can make it with nothing. So whatever God gives me is a thumbs up because all I'm going to do is build with that. There is nothing else. All I'm going to do is build with that. This experience might make it into my next book. And I walk the streets just like everybody else. This is why it's important for me to just go work out and swim and disconnect from the matrix and explain to people that success is a lifestyle thing. It's not a bank account. And if this collective of people feels or felt that that's where their success was, I already know that they're doomed for failure. They just may not realize it. It may be prolonged. It may be like lighting a stick of dynamite, the the igniter, the ignition coil. It might take a while, but it's only a matter of time. And it's not because of the economy, it's not because of COVID, it's not because of the presidential administration, it's not because of the tariffs, it's not because any of those things. Most of the damage comes from within. I listened to one of my life coaches this morning, and there was a discussion about where change really emulates from, and it does start from within. You have to want to be successful with every cell in your body, as bad as you want to breathe oxygen. And if you don't have that, it's not going to work. I'm afraid to bring one of my exotic vehicles around this group of people because they don't understand. It's supposed to uplift them. It could backfire. It could have a negative connotation. I admire being around people that are way more successful than I am in other fields that I am not involved with because all it does is it molds me, it teaches me, it motivates me, keeps me going, right? Well, everybody doesn't believe in the same principles. When we speak about our mentors, I've written books about my mentors. That's how appreciative I am. And I've slowed down writing on Future Tech Plus because that's all coming. The new versions of Future Tech Plus with the NFTs built in are only going to get better. This meeting that I have on Monday is a priority. 11 o'clock Monday, Tuesday. I don't know when that meeting is going to be, but I have no choice. Now I have to go with a military mindset. Perception is reality. Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's probably not a giraffe or a kangaroo. Now, again, all I can do is continue my business assessment and add my insights wherever it's possible. It's up to every individual to make the investment into themselves because that is the true secret to success. It starts within yourself. You start to look at life differently, you behave differently, you act differently, you talk differently, you engage differently, you run your business in a completely different way. And because you do that, you achieve the success. You're still getting up every day, you're still working all day, you're still coming home with the same headache. The size of the headache is up to you. You want to own one franchise or you want to own 1,000. It's the same headache, but it's up to what you can basically administrate. Just like you may have business partners from the abyss, you may have family members from the abyss. You may have friends and colleagues and business partners, that are relatives from the abyss. Social political pressures every day beating you down. It's this or it's that. No, my love. If I can please have a little bit of water. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. You get what I'm trying to say? All you can do is pivot and juke and adjust. A portfolio cannot just be one investment. It's a portfolio because it's a variety of things. So real estate is one of my arms. Engineering, development, manufacturing, recycling, precious metals, jewelry, clothing, autonomous systems, wearable technologies, medical technology, entertainment. All these things make up the unique person that I am and the unique portfolio that I've put together since the late 1980s. So this is not new to me. This is not foreign ground. This is not foreign territory. I make it look easy because you don't see the 30 plus years I've been working on these things. Now you could do the same. Thank you, my love. God bless. Thank you so much. You get what I'm saying? This is just to give you an example. I can tell you the books, I can tell you the courses, I can tell you and give you some insight. The rest is up to you, and it costs money. To get advanced education costs money, and it does not come with a degree. It does not come with anything besides the responsibilities for you to implement that. I get to pick and choose. While I'm going through this developmental process, I get to choose where I'm going to wait for that process to be accomplished. So I already see the direction that I'm going in. And I feel bad that people don't understand that there's so many opportunities that present themselves every day, and some people just walk away from them. Cover their eyes, cover their ears, close their heads. No, it's impossible. I can't believe it. No magic, no magic, no dreams. And again, these are all examples. That's all it is. How do you apply them? It's up to you. Why do I ask for all of you to do the Mr. Donahue breakdown? 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each, 5 sentences minimum each paragraph, 5 words per sentence, 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions. Show the work. It's the 55-55. It works. Mr. Donahue is a genius. He taught me this in 6th grade. He was one of the first teachers that actually cared about me. This guy is a walking millionaire. He has no idea. When I signed this deal, people like Laurie Kassanjan and Mr. Donahue got it made. I'm going to walk right back into that school. I'm going to enter those same doors where I played basketball as a killer bee. And I'm going to say, Mr. Donahue, you changed my life. Ms. Laurie Cassandra, you changed my life. Here's a check for $2 million. Only so you could pay $1 million in taxes and have $1 million liquid to your name. What would you like to do? I would also like to gift you a franchise, one of my own or one of your choice. What would you like? Would you like a Starbucks, a McDonald's, or a Wendy's? Can we do a Panera Bread, a Chick fil A? Can we build something like an In N Out burger for you? How can I help you? How can I bring and add value to you as you've added value to my life? Look who I am today. Look at this portfolio that I'm negotiating. 8,000 songs in my catalog, 900 songs for 2025 as we speak. I'm 100 away from 1,000. And if I continue at this pace, I'll be at well over 1,000 towards the end of the year. And it's unnecessary. I don't need to do that anymore. I already doubled my capacity from last year. Last year was the hardest. I only released 435 records. I've already doubled that this year. My record year, 2022, 2,600 songs. 2023, 2,545. 987 in 2021. Another goal. Gotta beat that. Nothing from that. We have the rest of August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months. Now I need to focus on the album. Now I need to focus on preparing for these business meetings. Now I need to schedule content creation around these pivotal changes because even the internet has been compromised. So now I have to route everything from my portable digital platform to do everything else. And I'm not going to stream from my handheld device. I run my entire business from my smartphone. I'm not going to force it to be my broadcasting station as well. Now I have to reconnect with my other business partners who I have been or whom I have been neglecting directly and indirectly, which is why I miss those meetings. Everything has built up to this following meeting on Tuesday. Will it be delayed? I don't know. Will it be a success? I don't know. All I can guarantee is that I'm going to show up. And if it's postponed, guess what? It's going to take more time. One thing I can guarantee you is that it will be worth it at the end of the day. And that is the most important factor, is that it's going to be worth it. Every step of the way, at every interval, under every circumstance. So at the same time, in order for me to have complete mental peace of mind, right, I have to do my best to administrate the business. Once again, these are all examples. You may be facing similar challenges. Doesn't mean they're going to be identically the same, but you may find yourself in that situation. A secondary topic to give you guys more to break down, and you can use your hyper scientific, you can use AI if you have to, just show the work. If you do not, I'm going to assume that you just use technology and you get no credit for it. There are people that at times can be closest to you, right? And they're waging this silent battle, right? They're trying to compete with everything that you're doing, but they're spending so much energy doing that that they're unable to be successful in anything that they do. But that is also a choice. There are people that have chosen that, and there are certain things that you cannot play with. So I find myself also being challenged with a group of people that ultimately have no choice. They're going to work for the company because I know I can offer them a better opportunity than just about any other company that's not in technology as we are. And it's a shame because it continues to do damage. Even though it has good moments, it's like looking at a bamboo tree. I'm a Muay Thai fighter. So there are moments where we bruise the tree, we damage the tree, and it grows with knots inside of it. There are moments that everything's still going to flourish perfectly. And just like sugarcane, you're eventually going to reach knots. Farther knots, it's better quality, right? Closer knots is worse quality for sugarcane and bamboo as well. And in these types of relationships, right? Because we're still human beings, we still have family, even though we're entrepreneurs, right? You can find yourself surrounded by people that are growing like bamboo trees and growing like sugarcane with close knots because of their own insecurity or inefficiency or lack of understanding or lack of making the attempt to educate themselves to not understand. See, when you have an education, you automatically assume everybody has an education. When you're an entrepreneur, you assume everybody understands business, and business is not for everybody. Just like success, it's the same thing. I find more challenges within family members, peers, close colleagues, and even business partners than in the actual market. And we're fighting against the markets every day. We're fighting against every other business, franchise, etc. So it's already hard as it is to make it even more challenging. So for me, that is the sweet science. You know, you have to meet people where they are. You have to love people where they are, as they are, how they are. I have family members that are on drugs. I love them. A lot of them are watching. I have friends, colleagues that are on drugs. Even yes, my love. Even previous business partners. All I can do is pray for them serve as a spiritual guide, lead by example, and allow an empty space to fill itself. These people are the way that they are and who they are because at the end of the day, that is who they are. And I cannot change that. There's nothing that I could do about that. Again, no three strike system. I could give you advice. There's no reason to compete with me if you're my family member or my relative or my business partner, my colleague, or even my client, because you're already competing against the world. I'm competing against the universe. I'm from a different planet. Time traveler confirmed from the year 9998. I don't come from a different universe and a different world. I come from a different time frame. It was many, many more years of educational training and trial and error. For every successful business I own today, I have 44 failures. But guess who owns 44 kosher chicken recipes? I do. And they're not deep fried, which is a huge difference because that first formula was deep fried. So it puts everything into perspective. I had to bust my chops to be where I want to be. Matter of fact, there's an investment I just drove by. That's something that I'm already, emotionally invested into. I already see the future. So it's up to every person to have that same pursuit of happiness because there's no instruction manual. So this is not designed to be easy and it's not designed to be for everybody. You have to be careful in exactly how you choose your battles. Today, for me, this moment of reflection was basically built upon that. What do I gain by securing my mental uh, peace of mind? I have one of my business partners that will be there, I want to say, about 2 hours from now. This person has found comfort, healing, and understanding in simple conversations with me. Now I see that this may be the person that has been praying. And all I can do is go and support that person in the midst of the challenges that we will have to face for the day. You know, it's all basic concepts, right? All basic things, but all are essential to our success, to the brand, to the franchise. And there are many different ways to approach the situation. I have to approach it from a pragmatic standpoint and say, you know what? It is not worth the squeeze to make the juice. I have to allow all the rivers to flow. Very simple. I have to allow all of the rivers to flow. If there's a freight train coming, you're standing in front of it and it's coming full speed, like the bullet train. That means over 200 miles an hour. Electrification means it's full torque on full throttle, instant torque. So an electric train gives you everything immediately. What do? You fight the train, you what? You jump over the train, you latch onto the train. No, you move out of the way. Let the train crash. Sometimes that is the hardest lesson and the most valuable and the most humbling lesson that a person can learn. At the end of the day, it is the reality of things. I have a responsibility that I postponed. I gave myself the opportunity to postpone it. First thing this morning, the first thing I thought about was, let me resolve that. Let me get that out of the way. Let me not worry about that. Let me invest this into the future. Now let me change the combination, the sequencing, the order of things so that I can achieve a better success. So I can easily make up what would take people 2 weeks' time. I could do it in a day. Go to the business, prepare everything, have an impact on the situation, full control of the situation, full dominion, and move on as if nothing has happened. Carefully, because it is a fine dance. It is a sweet moonlight sonata. It's a samba. It's a classical note. It's a jazz song. It's different. Let those that have ears hear me. Those that have eyes see me. Those that have the capacity to understand where I'm coming from. Because as a grand master, I already see the next 2,000 moves. Therefore, all I can do is my very best, donating my very best to everything, every opportunity that I get, giving it my best. I have no reason not to, flowing organically and naturally. Now, what may have only been an option has now become a choice. I get to implement, I get to impact the system in a completely different way. That's a position of privilege and power that I didn't have before. And again, it just goes to show you something so simple, even if it is just to have the ability to explore, you know, just to have the ability to explore. Why? Because it is important. And I have to prioritize my well being, you know. I can only control what I can control. Again, I can lead a horse to the water. I cannot make the horse drink. And overall, that is the greatest lesson that I could share with you guys. In business, you're going to be facing these challenges, you're going to be facing these decisions. And what's going to determine your success is your ability to make better decisions. I am data point driven. This is a value based proposition, value for value exchange. You learn from me as much as I learn from you. And I give you the same honor, dignity, and respect to do that. You may be able to observe things in a different perspective because you're not walking my shoes, and neither am I walking yours. I don't know your backstory. I don't have a fundamental background as a baseline for why you do what you do. All I can do is give you the opportunity to share that with me and share my battle stories and my battle scars with you. Because just like women have 12 hearts, there is truth inside the hearts of men. So this is very deep and it's very powerful. And I want you guys to write about that. Have you faced a similar challenge? Is there something that you could relate to? What is your perspective? What do you think about some of these key concepts that I've shared with you? Does it make sense? Do you see the clear path to success? It's kind of like walking on the beach and you're like the first person and you see like every open parking space. That's your potential. You see people parked by the resort, but no, you want to take your truck on the beach. You don't want to be too close to the water, but you don't want to be far. You want to be in neutral ground where the kids could play, the adults could play, you can listen to your music and it doesn't bother anybody, nor does it break the concentration of the lifeguards. You can see the seagulls. You can see the kids playing volleyball. You can see people swimming, people on the jet skis, people on the surfboards, which is where we want to be and where we're going to be because we're bringing our own surfboard. We're bringing our own barbecue. We're bringing our own sound entertainment, right? How do we balance all these things? Can you feel the breeze? Is the question. Can you feel the breeze? Not just in Miami, South Beach. Can you feel the breeze in Aruba or in the Bahamas or in Hawaii or in California or in Italy or in Portugal or in Germany? I can. And I just gave you every reason why I can. So, do I want to be reliving a pattern? Is there something in one of my books, as a business example, in my magazines, in one of my songs, in one of my life experiences, directly or indirectly, maybe something I went through or something that somebody close to me went through that I could use as an example? Who are these characters? Where have I seen this pattern before? I get it. Everybody feels that they have God by the hands. Great. As soon as you do that, that's when God pulls back. I'm not surprised. The hidden pockets of energy where business is flowing good, and then it just nothing. Then it builds, then nothing. You have to realize something is coming. A wrecking ball is coming to wreck the building, only for it to be rebuilt. And every time it's being rebuilt, here comes the wrecking ball. Smash it again. So what do? We disconnect, we disengage, we walk away. You don't have to tell a person, listen, this is unacceptable behavior. This is the final of three strikes. No, it's that's it. That's what you got. Great. You either get it or you don't. You either make the effort to get it or you don't. And whatever you decide, it's okay. It's understandable. Why? Because all of those things are important. All of those things are essential. It's important for everyone. It's important for the business. It's important for the investment. And it's also important long term because tomorrow it will be your business, your franchise, your career, your opportunity. And you will understand everybody's desire is to have their own. Everybody's going to go through that process. Just yesterday, I was starting out. Every day for me feels like the first day. That is very important. Very, very, very important. How do you break the cycle managing situations like this? What is the difference between this franchise and many more that are to come? Or as many franchise as we have had in the past? What is the difference? Same business, same industry, same trade, similar products or services. What determines the difference between success, mediocrity, or failure? Or just getting by? Or it rained today, or it didn't rain today? Or it snowed today, or it's not snowing today? Or it's summertime, or it's wintertime? Or it's January, or it's February? Or it's only week one, or it's week two? It's the weekday, it's the weekend, it's a holiday, it's not a holiday. Consistency. The Big Mac, the Whopper is the same anywhere in the world. McDonald's is what, 57, 58% of fast food in the world. In the world. In the world. Why is that? You think it's easy to just go sell burgers? Try it. You think it's as easy as picking yellow and red as your primary colors? Try it. You think this is about coffee? Anybody can sell you coffee. You can make coffee at home. Why are you paying for this coffee? Why can you relate to this logo, this brand, this font, this size? Look at the positioning, this branding. Why? Only one way to find out. This franchise gave my mother the opportunity to retire. The level and the deep, profound respect that I have for this franchise, unparalleled. You can find it in my books, you can find it in all my magazines. This is next level shit right here. And it's simple, it's right in front of your face. People don't realize it. The money is made in breakfast, soda, and ice cream. But what we really are is a real estate company. Did you just hear what I said? We are a real estate company. Average franchise owner only makes about 150,000 a year, about $3,000 a week, about $500 a day. That's all you need. What more than that could you need or want? Very simple. These are all examples. You, as the entrepreneur, will be faced with these challenges every single day because you are in the people to people business. Do I go pray, meditate, go swim, work out, have my mental where it needs to be? Or do I go face this battle and this challenge, which is a Trojan horse? It's a smoke and mirror effect that doesn't exist. There's no winners here. There's no dog in the fight. What do you think I'm going to do? I'll let you guys figure it out. We'll see you on the next one. God bless. We face the technology. We'll see you more throughout the day. If not, we'll see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow. God bless. Have an amazing day today. You guys have the best teacher in the world. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each, 5 words per paragraph, 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions. Show the work. I don't care if you write it on chicken scratch. You can use your hyper scientific. You can use ChatGPT. You can use Copilot, Alexa, Siri, Sarah, or DeepSeek R1. And you already know is your boy Venom R1. Love you guys. See you on the next one. And God bless.